As I said that, I'm like, huh. Oh, let me ask my team. So, okay, that's what I thought. I just needed to hear it one more time.
No, it's good. That should be a good opportunity. When are you speaking?
She's going to do three seminars, three in November prior to Thanksgiving. So she wants to do a group of seniors, and she lives in a high-end neighborhood. Then she is a agent for a large property and casualty firm. Then wants me to do a client talk for those clients. Well, we're going to do those over 2 dates, and then a date for her people in her neighborhood that are seniors for annuities. So, yeah, it should be a great opportunity. She keeps like another friend of ours whose name starts with an M. Sounds like harmonica, if you know what I'm saying. Uh, oh, I got these great opportunities. Yay! You don't mean it. So, yeah. So anyway, but yeah. Hey, look, three opportunities. That's good. Give me something to do. Cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I had something this weekend actually that pertains to Nick Landon and Claudia. I had a conversation with Jamil,
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
and it was very interesting. I haven't seen him in a while, and he's like, my head hasn't been in the game. I've been like spiritually bankrupt, and whoever doesn't know who he is, he fought for the heavyweight title back in the early 2000s, and I met him down in Florida and become pretty good friends with him. And he's involved in a business venture now that's he's got some like really good deals. He's just waiting for the money. And he's like, I just want you to know, he's like, you, Nick and Landon, Claudia have been like great to me. I had a conversation with my wife that we're gonna move all our money to those guys. And I was like, I just called to see how he's doing because I haven't spoke to him. And he's married to a doctor. They're both in their mid 50s. And, you know, what that could lead to is significant business. I was actually in a longevity center last week getting some treatment done, and there was a woman in there who happened to be married to a professional boxer as well. And I told her I knew Jamil, and she's like, "Well, can you have him come to our event at Mar-a-Lago?" So to make a long story short, that's kind of why I was calling Jamil. I'm having lunch with him this week, but he, here's another connection that God knows where it goes because Jamil's good friends with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson just moved to Delray Beach, and I'm not sitting there, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to get Mike Tyson as a client." The chances of that happening are probably remote, but you just never know when you put yourself in certain circles. And my phone call was just a follow-up to be like, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while.
Right.
Like, everything okay?" And it turned out he paid our team a big compliment and asked, "When are we doing another event?" Because he's like, he loves them. So I just thought I'd fill you guys in on that.
Cool.
I was going to wait till today because it was actually yesterday I had the call with him.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. It shows the power of just having the relationship,
Yep.
right? It's not always about who knows the products the best. It's about who knows the people.
Well, you know what he said that really like kind of epitomizes my career is he's like, "You know what I like about you guys? Not once have you asked me for my money.
Yeah.
And you've known me well over a year." I'm like, "Jamil, I lay in the woods, and I'll attack when right, you know." So it's pretty interesting.
I think that's what's crazy about this to me, just starting from coaching. It, it is the most non-threatening way to speak to people in 33 years of practice. There's no, you're going to ask me to do this. It's just, we go through the model. You're going to make your own conclusions. You
Hmm.
know, do it, don't do it. Your life isn't going to be as good, but you can keep doing what you're doing. So, yeah, it's just crazy. But Greg, 100% right on.
Melissa, anyway,
Anybody else
Go ahead,
working
Nick.
on cases specific?
Well, I thought I would share the follow-up cadence that we talked about
Mhm.
last week about being respectful and, the same way I follow up with my clients and want to make sure we're staying on track and answering questions and moving forward for solutions. That's the way I want to follow up with you. And this the prospect, the one that we had met out of town, is now coming to our office today, and we're having a meeting with him at 12:30 and bringing in lunch. And he's a $1.2 million case, and just really excited about moving forward with him. And yeah, he's 86 years old, so there's not much opportunity to solve for insurance, but we've found several different areas that we can help him with, some tax planning and some investment management. He's currently got a lot of crypto in his portfolio, about 25%, which is obviously a little risky for him at his age and his scenario. But amazingly, he doesn't have his legal documents in place. So we're really wanting to be the quarterback of his whole financial picture overall and put all those pieces together for him. And, looking forward to moving forward. But really like that scripting when, calling back and using that kind of open talk with him. It engaged him because when I first started talking, he said, he was just thinking about things and he was going to get back to us. And then I kind of, it was very useful in engaging him. But
Good.
so looking forward to how that meeting goes today and moving that ball forward. And I have a kind of a small case, but don't know if you guys can provide any some feedback on it. And I come more from the investment side, and I'm getting to learn more about insurance, but it's not my area of expertise. So I work a lot with Joel Hauser to get some feedback on cases and stuff too, if you guys are familiar with him. But we're looking at to do a 1035 exchange of the cash value from a current policy into an annuity that purely has a growth focus. And in 5 years, the cash value is projected to be above what the death benefit would be when we put it in the annuity. And this individual is 78 years old, so he's a little older too. But at the end of his plan, let's say through age 95, he's right at $700,000 more using this strategy versus keeping it in the life insurance and having that cash value or death benefit growing at about 1.5%, 2%. That's currently in there, that estimated within the policy. So they came back with a few questions and we're working through that, but that's really the insurance case I have on my table right now.
Yeah, I have
Does that sound?
similar case, an old client. He's 86, 87 years old. He had a small policy, second to die policy, 30 years old, 31 years old to be exact. And at the time when he bought it, the exemption was, I think it was 1.2 million total, 600,000. And he had a sizable estate, but he's been gifting money out of his estate to his kids. He has no need for the insurance. This particular policy he owned was a blended contract with whole life and term inside the contract. His death benefit is $300,000 and his cash value is over $200,000. So that's a perfect one for a 1035 exchange. So there are situations where it does make sense.
And this couple, they don't need the money. They don't, it's really targeted, building a legacy for their children. Their income and retirement, and they're not pulling from any of their assets. They've got right at like $2 million. So they're in great financial situation where they're not really nobody's needing the life insurance kind of part of
Right.
that. So,
Right.
um, so I'm looking forward to hopefully moving forward with that, but just didn't know if there was anything insight that, um, you know, other than what I've already shared about doing the 1035 exchange.
No, that sounds like you're on point
Okay.
now. So
Okay.
I have a question. Oh, go ahead. Was that Gina?
No, I was just gonna say those 1035 exchanges from life insurance to annuity contracts are usually the harder ones to transfer from a back end paperwork underwriting standpoint because they're very particular. So make sure that everything is exact. Otherwise, they'll make you redo the paperwork. Just from experience, just we did
Good.
one of those earlier this year. That was paper application, and we had to redo the application 6 different times.
Really? This
Yeah.
is Northwestern.
Yeah,
Is
it was
the
the
life
Guardian that we were
insurance.
replacing. Yeah, we were replacing the Guardian policy, but that was more complex because it was jointly owned and there were some different parameters around it. But as long as it's like for like and you have everything right the first time, you should be fine. Nick, go ahead and you can say what you were going to say.
No, go ahead, continue. Now I lost my train of thought, but it'll come back.
Oh, right. You were going to ask a question to the group.
Oh, yes. So I want you to think of your week last week. And during the week, we all go through problems, frustrations, concerns, challenges, things that come up during the week. I want to know what were those specific, if any, problems, frustrations, concerns, challenges that any of you had during the week? What was your thought life like?
So I kind of had a challenge last week. Landon had actually group text somebody we were working on who happened to be a good friend of mine. And like he's just gone radio silent, and he's like a friend of mine. You know, it's bizarre. So I was up in Myrtle Beach with 2 college buddies playing golf, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna shoot him a text message, and a nice one. And I basically said something to the effect, when what I'm proposing to you becomes more important to me than it is to you, something's wrong. And I said, I am not here to sell you anything. The premise of the call was rates are going down. We should take a look at this now, the text message.
Yeah.
And basically the response I got, and I basically said, we're friends, like, is everything okay? And he basically wrote back, everything's fine, stop overthinking it, you know, whatever. I'm on vacation with my family. I'll give you a call when I get back. But it was one of these that I can't for the life of me think why this guy's not moving his annuity. It's an old Guardian annuity that has extremely high fees, the target 250, into a fixed indexed annuity with 1% fees, with significantly higher income, 0 risk, and it's like pulling teeth. And I start, you know, I've always been, all right, what am I doing wrong? This, that, the other thing. I'm doing nothing wrong.
Right.
But the reality is it's starting to piss me off to some extent, pardon the ladies on the call, but you know, to the point where I'm like, what is it about me giving you 100% certainty for you and your wife on a qualified asset that you're never going to liquidate in one shot? And long and the short of it is I got positive feedback from him, so I'm going to reach out when I'm up in New York next week or this week. But I don't know, just some thoughts.
Let me give you some language, because he's a close personal friend, right?
Yep.
First and foremost, Greg, what's most important to me more than anything else is our friendship. And I want to make sure that friendship always remains intact. Fair enough? But let me ask you a question. I've been doing this almost 40 years, okay? Is higher guaranteed lifetime income important to you or not? If it's not, I'll stop bothering you. Is it more important? Yes or no? You're gonna say yes.
Yes.
Is lowering your fees by 67% minimum important to you or not?
Yes.
Okay. Then for the life of me, what is preventing you from moving forward? I can't figure it out.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Get it. But I'm one of those, I don't feel like bothering. So, he's a good friend of mine, like you said, but I like that. And that's kind of,
And that's an
kind of why I
in-person,
text.
that's an in-person conversation. That's not
Right.
on text
Yeah.
or on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick, I'd
Um,
like to. So we drove down to see that gentleman in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
mhm.
Haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks. I'm listening to this dialogue. Is that something I text or just leave it alone?
No, it's a conversation by phone.
Okay. Same conversation.
Same
There's no
conversation.
estate plan. I don't know what we're doing.
Obviously, you saved his company $5.2 million,
$5.5 million.
$5.5 million. If he does not want to listen to you on other strategies and how you can help him, was the $5.5 million, did it help your business or did it not?
And
Was
see,
that a great strategy for you?
yeah, well, and see, because now what do I do as a sales rep? I get in my own head. Well, maybe that's why he's not calling back. He hasn't got the check yet. Well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be getting a check. So
Right,
let's cut the shit. Sorry,
Right.
ladies.
exactly,
You're right.
exactly. So no one else had any problems, no frustrations, everything was smooth.
No, I have, excuse me. I have a few things with a client who wants to, his wife wants to take out a policy for her mom. They live together, so to cover whatever expenses through the mortgage that, she would potentially be leaving them with, utilities, whatever, however else she helps out, and then also to leave some money for the children.
Mhm.
Um, but I think my challenge is the husband who would be like funding this is not understanding how insurance works. And just because he thinks that, oh, well, I want to pay for this and this is what I want, that you're approved for that. And he has like, we've gone back and forth with, he's sort of like old school mentality. He doesn't want the emails. He doesn't want the paperwork. He doesn't want to give all this information. He doesn't want all these things, but he wants the insurance. And it's like having conversations around, okay, well, there is, processes and procedures that we have to go through in order to get to where you want to see if you can, get this insurance. And it's like, well, why do you need that? Why do you need her license? Why do you need this information? Why do you need all of this stuff? And I'm like, there's every conversation, there's a challenge.
Mhm.
Like, it's like he's
Yeah.
butting heads every time. And I'm like, just because you say, hey, listen, here's my credit card or here's my bank account, like, you don't just get what you want.
So when you went for a mortgage on your house, did you have to provide information or they just gave you the mortgage?
Right.
When you
Yes.
vote, do you have to show ID? Whatever it is, you always need some sort of verification, whether it's social security number, et cetera. If something happens to is it his mother-in-law?
Yes.
What would the potential claim be?
Like, I think he wants like 150,000.
Okay, they're gonna pay her out 150,000, correct?
Mhm.
He's paying the premium on this, correct?
But he wants to be the beneficiary too on top of it.
Him or his family, his wife?
He wants to be it. And I'm like, there are all these things
let
that
me
I'm
be-
just like,
Talk about insurable interest. I think that might be the worst case of insurable interest. A man wanting to be the beneficiary on his mother-in-law's life
but
insurance policy.
that's the whole thing that I'm just like, it doesn't work like that.
Well,
Gina, you know what I'm reminded of? You look at him and go, do you hear yourself?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
do
So
you
I'm
hear
kinda like,
yourself?
Forget
was
the
like,
social and
listen,
driver's license. That's insurable. Insurable interest is out the window. That's like the
exactly. And I'm
definition of a flight risk.
I'm sorry to laugh.
so because I
Wow.
mean, yeah, I know. So I'm like, well, see if you can get it somewhere else. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
uh,
So
it is what it
sometimes
is.
the cases you don't work with are the most satisfying cases
Mm-hmm.
because he seems like the type of guy that would just debilitate you,
Even if you got the case.
even if you got the
Right.
case.
Right. Okay, thank you for this because like
Chris,
this I'm like what I'm wasting my time. I'm like we're continue to
Yeah.
have the same conversations. Like there's certain things he's understanding, but then there's other things like, oh well, why can't you do this? Why can't you do this? And I'm like, no.
Chris has the best word for a guy like that.
Next.
Chris, you want to share?
What?
4-letter word. Next.
Nick,
And those guys will tell you, I live it every day. So
He does, man. Chris is just like, oh, okay. See ya.
that guy's called a weed.
Yeah.
well, Landon listen, Landon and I had a talk. Guy's worth 8 million, brother. 8,
Yeah.
10 million.
Yeah.
Single, no kids. And I realized, why am I here? He's made money in real estate, pharmacy, crypto. And Landon, am I forgetting anything?
I mean, there was the one illegal activity, but other than that, no, you're on point.
I mean, it's like Nick said. I stopped myself and go, why am I on this call? I mean, this guy's like, I'm about the next deal, the next deal. I mean, he couldn't tell me anymore. And I don't want insurance without saying I don't want insurance.
When
Yeah.
you guys deal with people like that, how does it make you feel? Does it energize you or does it just zaps your energy?
Zaps.
So that's why you got to focus on the people that fit the psychographics of your ideal client.
Oh.
If they fit the psychographics, that energizes you. Which leads me to the next point. Okay. The foundation of all the coaching, all the business tools that you're getting and the language and the LEAP model and the calculators, that's all great. But the core thing that you need to understand is, why do you do what you do? What's your why statement? What is your story that you're sharing with your clients? So if I ask you, Gina, unmute yourself. I'm just going to pick on you because you're right front and center on my screen.
Why is that always the case?
Yeah. Gina, why do you do what you do?
I think it's funny that you should ask me this now because I've been sort of working on my bio. And really, just a very quick background. I've been in the hospitality industry for over 25 years and sort of working with clients that giving them the experience, but really connecting to them is what made me feel like the most fulfilled. So I had a knee injury last year that sort of took me out for a while. And I was like, this might be a great opportunity to kind of step away from an industry that I know and love. However, it was really not sustainable. And I jumped into this with my dad, something that I've known for a long time. And I think my why statement is really because I want to give people that experience, for them to feel like I am providing them with a service that they feel comfortable, secure, and grounded with. And I think that's where I feel the most connected, is just giving them back something that I would want for myself. And to really just build that relationship.
Okay. All right. So
Well,
your why
I want to
statement
share two stories with people that I think are valuable. I got in this business in 1988, and I never, ever in a million years envisioned myself selling life insurance, ever. I majored in college in economics and finance. And when somebody said, "Oh, you're going to be selling life insurance for a living," I'm like, "No, I'm not." So make a long story short and fast forward 37 years. I've had some absolutely unbelievable, rewarding stories of unfortunate and somebody passed away, but fortunate in the fact that they bought the maximum amount of life insurance that they could possibly buy. And going to deliver that death claim check to that wife made me feel a lot better that she was complaining about everybody sending her bills, this and that. And she's like, if it wasn't for you, I don't know where I'd be.
Mm.
And on the flip side of that coin, I had a gentleman who I played in the White Plains basketball league with, a rec league, and he just had a newborn baby. And every week after our game, this restaurant sponsored us, but we'd spend $30 to $40 a piece on pizza and beer. And he's like, can you come over? I need to get some life insurance. And I knew he couldn't afford permanent insurance. So I said, why don't we get $2 million of term insurance? The premium would be $80 a month. Make a long story short, this guy gets approved for $2 million. I see him 3 months later outside of CVS in White Plains, and I looked at him and I'm like, Mike, what's wrong with you? He was jaundiced and was 50 pounds lighter. And he's like, I have 6 months to live. I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He did not take the life insurance. I went to his funeral, and his wife looked at me, turned to the casket, and said, I feel like spitting in it. I saw that woman and her child at my country club 2 years later, and I went up to her and gave her a big hug. And I'm like, how are you and your daughter doing? And she's like, we're on welfare. All because this guy couldn't spend $80, but he would turn around and go to the bar after the basketball game. So the importance of what we do is we make dreams come true for those left behind. And if that doesn't like get people motivated, like I don't look at me selling life insurance as some like, oh my God, I'm giving you a bad thing. Do you want, I mean, we all know what life insurance does for families. And if you've ever had the privilege of delivering a death claim check to somebody, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I've had to deliver a number of them, and not one person said, I don't want to see you anymore. So, for what it's worth.
So on that note, that was powerful, Greg. On that note, on your tombstones, because eventually we all pass, right? Do you want your tombstone to read the greatest life insurance salesman ever? No, right? What's our legacy? What's our why statement? And take the time. I want you to take a few minutes now. If you have a legal pad and paper, a paper and pen, I want you to think about something. I'm going to take you through this exercise. And this exercise is powerful. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. Okay? I want you to think about when we eventually pass on. And I want you to pick someone, whether it's family, husband, daughter, wife, whoever, friend, is going to say your eulogy. What do you want them to say about you? Who are you as a person? What's your legacy? So take a few minutes now and write that out. And I know we probably won't finish it, but this is a homework assignment for you. And I'm going to ask someone to share it, so make sure you do it. When you have it, I want you to unmute yourself. Anybody have theirs? All right, Melissa, you look like you finished yours.
I think I've got a pretty good draft of it here.
Okay, can you share? Can you share it?
I
First of
would
all,
say
who's reading it?
who's reading it?
Yeah, who is it? A family member? Is it a friend?
Um, maybe it'd be my son
Okay,
at the funeral.
yeah,
Yeah. So, you know, he would say my mom was devoted to her family and her friends and her clients, and her work was very important to her. She was very smart and caring, and if you needed help, you knew you could count on her to be there for you. She was a happy, uh, really a happy person, and her laugh was contagious, and she made you happy. Just just spending time with her, she made you feel special, and you know you always left feeling better having spent time with her, and that's where I got.
okay. So how does that make you feel?
Um, well, it makes me feel. I would hope that would be something along the lines that uh, that would be said. I think there are areas in there that I could probably um, work on and get a little better at. You know, being
Okay.
that person that makes someone have always feeling better having spent time with me. You know, and
Mhm.
having that impact on people. I'd like to think that that's the case, but I'm not sure that it's always the case. You know, sometimes you're the person that vents and you're not that happy person. So being more positive and making people feel special and you know, being that trusted the person that someone trusts when they have a problem, and whether it's personally or financially, they know that they can count on you to be the that go-to
Well, I heard
that
that
they're gonna rely on.
you're caring, you make people feel special, you're reliable, right? Those are three words that came out of that eulogy. I want you to just jot those three words down.
Mm-hmm. And it
Anybody else?
makes me feel a little sad to think about not being here and having my eulogy read.
Anybody else want to share theirs?
I'll go. I just put that he took care of his family and friends, that he was generous and humble. He didn't live by contempt prior to investigation. He always put his client's interest above his own.
Isn't that you?
That's pretty much me.
Okay. Anybody else have one? Okay. So part of your homework assignment is write down a eulogy. Really, and my wife was listening to me. She goes, "They can't do that in 5 minutes." I know, it's just a jumping off point. You got to go back and really write down your eulogy, and there's a reason for that. Okay. So one of the core foundations is you have to know your why statement, right? Why you do what you do. What is your story behind, when you're sitting down with clients, who are you, right? So I want you to take a pad and a pen, and I want you to use 2 powerful action verbs that resonate with you. It's what you want to do to your family, friends, clients. 2 powerful action verbs that resonate with you. Is it impact and inspire? What is it? What are those words? 2 action verbs that resonate with you,
That you want to do for your clients.
or your family or your friends. Not only your clients, is everyone around you. Anybody have 2 of them? Action
I do.
verbs. Who does?
Chris, I do.
Chris.
Protect and encourage.
Protect and encourage. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Hold that thought. Anybody else have 2?
I'll go with 2 off the top of my head, empower and uplift.
Empower and uplift. Write those 2 down. Now, this is just to get you guys started. Part of your homework assignment is to develop this worthy ideal statement. It's your why. So, Chris, you said protect. What was the words? Protect and
Encourage.
protect and encourage. Okay. Now the next part. So first is 2 action verbs. The next part is, who do you want to protect and encourage? Who's your ideal clients or specific people or groups of people?
Friends and family.
Is it friends, family, and clients?
Yeah.
Chris, would you say it's friends, family, and clients?
Yeah, friends, family, and clients, and then I'd say from a client level, solve wealthy problems. So wealthy clients with problems I can solve.
Okay, we're gonna get there. Just protect. It was protect and what?
Protect and encourage.
And encourage. In what order? Who? Your family first?
Yeah, family, friends, clients.
Friends and clients. To do what? What's your burning desire for them? What is your burning desire? What do you want? You want to protect and encourage friends, family, friends, and clients to do what?
My first thought is empower them to grow, but I'm trying to finish that sentence.
Okay. Empower them to grow.
Financially, emotionally, and spiritually.
Okay, good. So they can do what? What will that do for them? If you can do all that, what will it do for them? What's the benefit?
Allow them to live their most fulfilling lives. Allow them to live, yeah, their most fulfilling lives.
Okay, so now put it all together.
I want to protect and encourage my family, friends, and clients so that I can empower them to grow financially, emotionally, and spiritually. And this will allow them to live their best and most fulfilling lives.
How does that make you feel?
Great.
Isn't that who you are?
Yep.
Okay. Now, again, you're going to massage this, but let me give you an example of our coaching's mission statement, because we all have a why for your business, which is your mission statement. And then you have a personal why statement, who you are, right? You're going to develop both. But let me give you an example of a business mission statement. Eagle Performance Academy's mission statement or worthy ideal is to inspire and impact mission-driven entrepreneurs and professionals to achieve multi-dimensional success, personally, professionally, and spiritually, so they can experience a life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment. That's why I'm coaching. It's in alignment, right? Doing this. Look, could we make more money if I'm out there in the field spending an hour? If I calculate my hourly rate, it's probably $5,000 an hour, right? But this is in alignment with our mission statement. So the exercise is come up with 2 powerful action verbs. I like impact and inspire. It doesn't have to be that. State your ideal clients, number 2. Not only ideal clients, but family, friends. Who are the groups of people that you want to impact and inspire to do what? So they can live a life of what?
Abundance.
A life of abundance. It has to be your word, right? There's no right or wrong. Abundance, certainty, financial freedom, passion, purpose. And this is going to come out in your story. Let me share with you why I do what I do. You know, part of my story is I remember growing up, we were poor, and my father working 3 jobs because we lived in the ghettos in the Bronx. And he worked 3 jobs because he had to get us out of the ghetto. And I saw him sacrifice for years, barely saw him. And then when he finally retired, he ended up getting sick. But when he finally retired, he couldn't sustain his lifestyle. It went backwards. He was an old-fashioned Italian guy that didn't want my help, right? It was too late when I could give him any kind of help. So part of my story is I want to make sure that those that I come in contact with don't experience what I had to see as a child and later on in my adult years. That's part of the why statement. What's your story? What do you represent? What makes you different than anyone else? Once you know that personal why statement and your mission, your corporate why statement, then you start formulating your life purpose statement. And those of you who've been in coaching, who do you need to become as a person? What do you need to do to become that person? Then you'll have everything you want. See, most people have it backwards. They say, well, what are your goals? How much assets are you going to bring under management? How much life premium are you going to do? That's a result of who I become and what I need to do to become that person to fulfill my why statement. Is that making sense? You could have all the business knowledge in the world. If you don't get your why statement, you'll cap out. It's your reason for living. It's your reason for being. I'd frankly rather be dead than not know why God created me. Goes back to the Old Testament, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper, not fail you, declares the Lord. Says he knew you in your mother's womb before you were born. He created you for a reason. We need to know what that reason is. And that why statement has to make you feel good. When I say my why statement or my life purpose statement, I feel like the back of my hair, whatever little hair I have, goes up. I get the chills. I feel good about it. That's the difference between good to great. You're not in this business just to make money. Making money is a byproduct of who we are. How many people do we impact on a daily basis? Whether it be financially, spiritually, health-wise, wealth-wise. How many people are you going to impact today? Some of my biggest clients and best clients are the ones that we never talked about money. It's like Jamal, right? We never talked about money. We just showed that we cared. People don't care about what you know. They just care that you care for them. Is this making sense?
Yep.
Chris, do you have yours?
Which Chris?
No, there's two Chris's. Chris Torres.
No, I wrote down the questions because the first time we did that exercise, I lost it. Thanks, Nick. But I wrote down the questions. What would someone say about me? Why was I here? What did I give people? How did they experience me? Who did I make a difference for? How did I make a difference? Were people happy to see me? Did I fulfill enough dreams for others? Was love experienced in my presence? So that's what I'll be working on.
Good, good. Now, once you formulate it, it's got to be in your subconscious mind. That's part of your mind muscle exercises that you do every morning. Every morning, I still do it. Purpose of my life is to be the best leader, teacher, and coach to my family, my friends, and my clients. I will live a happy, healthy, spiritual life full of love, joy, gratitude, passion, and financial freedom. I will live my life to its fullest potential for God, myself, and my family, while leaving an imprint on the hearts and minds of those I touch. So I will leave a legacy long after I'm gone. That's why I exist. Those of you who have heard it before, has it changed?
No.
That's in my subconscious mind.
Hmm.
It sounds quirky, but once you get this and it becomes a part of you and it's ingrained in you, that's when shifts start to happen.
Awesome.
That's when commission breath goes away.
Yeah.
That's when you create raving fans and not just customers. Is this making sense?
100.
Any questions on this? A great book that was written by Simon Sinek. It starts with why. Why you do what you do. That's your target. And some of you have been in coaching for some time and you still don't have your why statement. And that's why you're getting the same results. You need to know what that is. It needs to be a part of you, ingrained in you, like a fingerprint. Now, if you struggle with it, go to the school platform, look up the why statement video, which is under awareness, and the life purpose statement, how to formulate that. It's under the realization video. So the why statement is under the awareness, and the realization, the life purpose statement is under realization. Very important. Any questions?
No,
So,
thank you, brother.
Nick, how long have you had your why statement? How long
Oh God,
have you figured that out?
17 years.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm 64, so it took me a while, right?
Right.
That's you know why Apple
Career.
was so successful? The company Apple. Does anybody remember the first MP3 player? Who created it? Anybody know?
Was it Apple?
No.
Like a thousand songs in your pocket or something like that?
You're onto something. So the first company who created the MP3 player, I don't even know the company. That's the point. They never answered their why. Apple, on the other hand, said 1,000 songs in your pocket.
I think it was
Right now.
LimeWire.
Was it LimeWire? I wouldn't even
think
know.
so.
Oh, I think you're right.
It could have been, but most people don't know. I never heard of the company. That's my point. What's your why?
Mm.
Right? Nike, just do it.
Thank you, Nick. I have to jump before my 12, but I appreciate it. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right, guys. You guys get anything out of this?
Yeah, ton.
Good. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Talk to you next week.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Thanks, Nick.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.